Another thing was also mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset, we had to shift our mindset at the beginning, right? It's key.
Welcome to the 5 Questions Podcast, where we unlock real estate and business insights one question at a time. If you're looking to grow your business, create cash flow, or invest smarter, Elizabeth Kelly is a boutique coach specializing in business planning, cash flow creation, and real estate investments. Through personalized one-on-one online coaching, Elizabeth meets you where you are and guides you to your next step. With nearly 20 years of experience, she provides the systems, resources, and accountability you need to build revenue, boost efficiency, and achieve financial freedom. Connect with her on Instagram at Elizabeth Kelly Consulting or email her at elizabeth@ekconsulting.ca to learn more. Welcome to the 5 Questions Podcast. I am your host, Mario Lamar. And today our guests have over 30 years of industrial engineering background, and they transitioned to be successful real estate investors. They started investing in single family homes and now they focused on multifamily properties. Welcome, Layda and Valentina. Welcome, ladies.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Mario. Nice to see you. Thank you for having us.
Not a
So good to
problem.
be here.
The concept of the podcast, I ask 5 questions about real estate or business, and we get straight to the point. Are you ready?
Ready?
Always
Yes.
ready.
Okay. Question number one. As industrial engineers with extensive experience in process optimization, how do you apply these principles to evaluating and managing real estate properties?
Yeah, the biggest thing for us is the numbers. We love spreadsheets, so running numbers for the properties and analyzing deals for us is a key factor. As industrial engineers and always in manufacturing, we have been always in looking at numbers, and our day-to-day is solving problems. So it's something that also we apply in the real estate world.
Yeah, as you know, well, in real estate, you always have to be ready for things that change last minute, right? So that's part of the journey. And we both have a lot of experience working in quality, which basically day to day is dealing with problems. So that's one of the key elements that we have been able to apply in real estate. The other one is process optimizations, right? So we work directly in the assembly lines. So we try to optimize the assembly, the quality, the output. So it's very transferable to real estate, right? Because every real estate is a project.
Another
Absolutely.
thing is the deadlines. We're always working with project managers, so we know how to lead a project, lead a team. And when you're in real estate and you're doing, for example, retrofits, you need to have deadlines. You need to make sure you're aligned with everyone. It's in, the team. If you're going to apply to your refi, you have to make sure you have your papers, your deadlines, like everything is, we track everything, in paper and, like all the spreadsheets and all that. So it's also key. And I also have a team of 11 people. So this helps in the real estate when you have to deal with other people.
Managing contractors.
Contractors, like I have my supervisors, so yeah, it helps.
Yeah. And one thing I
Absolutely.
would tell you, it will be managing the people, but also working with other departments, right? I don't work in quality anymore, but I remember you had a complaint from a client. You have to work with the rest of the team to give a solution, right? And we know that real estate, we are very uh partnerships is kind of our heart. So that helps us to work with other people
Investors.
and align and at the end identifying that we are to the same end result, that we're working together to get there.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like you have everything under control from your 9 to 5 job in bringing it into real estate, managing a portfolio, from running numbers to managing partners, contractors, and maybe some property managers. is all really important things that real estate investors have to know how to do on their everyday life. Brings us to our second question, and I wanted to ask, how did your transition from owning single family home to acquiring apartment buildings shape maybe your approach to multifamily investing?
So for us, it approaching the multifamily really came naturally right at the beginning. So when we start getting the proper education, so we always felt the love about real estate, but we didn't have the proper education. So normally when you don't know, you start with a single family home, right? When we
Right.
start getting the proper education and understanding that even it sounds crazy or bigger or more money or more problems, it actually is less, right? Because you are dealing with everything under one building. So that was our first approach to move from single family to multifamily. So I think it was not a brainer when we started to get involved into the real estate and connecting with people, networking, that we saw like, okay, we want to be that people, and we start relating ourselves with the people that was working in multifamily.
Yeah, I mean, multifamily, it's not like just running like a single family home. There's different processes, there's different ways to calculate a deal as you evaluate a deal. So absolutely getting the proper education is a must if you want to start playing in that game, in that field of multifamily.
Yeah, and it's key when you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, as we're both engineers and we're known for being so smart, you really don't know what you don't know. Yeah.
And some people they might try to do it on their own, and it might take years and do mistakes and then have to fix the mistakes. And in multifamily, in real estate, any mistakes it could be very costly. So getting the proper education, I think is key before you get started.
Yes. Another thing was also mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset, we had to shift our mindset at the beginning, right? It's key. So you start to get yourself surrounded of people, but if you don't change your mindset, you won't move, right? So you will still stay on the same place until
Yeah.
you start changing.
Yeah, that's big one because at the beginning, as you said, we wanted to do it alone.
Yeah.
But like, no, we can do it all. We have this background in numbers. We are all set. And then we realized there are so many things that we had to learn and that we were doing like wrong. We were doing wrong. Like, for example, we were not adding vacancy. So then the numbers were not proper, even though we know how to run numbers, that we were missing stuff. So with the proper education, we're like, oh, okay, so now we can scale.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we have to get the emotions out of it and maybe humble ourselves to say that we we don't know everything, right? So we need to learn from others' mistakes. It's less costly this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And leverage the risk with other
Right.
people expertise, knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you just say is actually very important as well for us, the logic and reason, right?
Yeah.
You leave the emotions outside when you are working in a multifamily building than compared to a single family or even a duplex, triplex, because the mortgage obviously is based on you and all that. When is a multifamily, is the numbers works, doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Absolutely.
logic.
Yeah. Become creative. Yeah.
It ties into what we talked about into our third question. And this question, I wanted to ask, what challenges did you face from expanding from single family homes to larger apartment buildings? And not only what challenges did you face, but how did you overcome them?
Yeah, it really ties up with the experience. We don't know everything and we are not experts on everything. So that moment that we realize that there is people, other investors that share our values, our goals, then we realize that we can grow, bigger, faster with other people, with other expertise, with other experts, because we all have a strengths, we all complement each other.
Hmm.
So that's
Right.
when we decided to go ahead and and break this challenge that we had at the beginning, that thinking that we knew everything, instead of saying, you know what, there is people that have already done it, and we can learn from them.
Yeah, that was key for us. And also doing your due diligence, right? So we started to be more like open to those partnerships to make sure that we find people that we align, as Val was saying, that we have the same goals, because that's also important, and do your due diligence. Every deal is, as we know, real estate has always risk. So just make your due diligence and be comfortable with the risk that you are taking. Um, so that was the big one for us at the beginning. And from there, we are
Yeah,
always kind of open for partnerships, right?
yeah.
So
Right. That's
partnerships
pretty
can
cool.
help you also with financing. I don't know if that was one of your challenge, but for a lot of investors, we run out of money and we need we need it's something that we have to overcome. We need a challenge, you know. We need to ask for help or partner with others, like you said, partnership. Was
Yeah,
that something
financing.
that challenge that you faced?
Yes, yeah, we have multiple partners for that reason and for the expertise. Yeah,
And
for
the
the
expertise,
expertise.
yeah.
Yes, and but we always say partnerships are like a marriage. So sometimes people say, okay, would you leave the kids with the partners? You know what I mean? It's very important to do the due diligence. Yeah,
Yeah,
You don't
and
pa-
you connect.
you don't partner with anybody. You have to choose them wisely.
Yeah,
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 because you have to complement each other, right? You're not gonna
Yeah,
partner with someone that has the same experience that you, or they are also focused on the same as you, because we will be the same. You need to partner with people that complement with what you're missing. So everyone has their own strengths. And we also have a big challenge at the beginning with our first multifamily, with the financing, that we went from 7 to 10
oh
to
yes.
7 to 10 units. You
That,
wanna
yeah, that's a really good one. That we all have to make sure that we check the numbers often,
yeah,
because the market is changing, the things are pivoting. Like in our case, we bought this property and then the interest rates started going up.
yeah,
So then we had to pivot, and our partners made the decision to change from 7 to 10, and we all agreed. So we did a retrofit from 7 units to 7 units. But at that moment, we said we're going to go from 7 units to 10 units to increase the value of the property.
yeah. So that's a very smart move. But like you said, you know, we have to consult our partners because we maybe don't know everything, and that's why we partner with different people, different skill sets.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, and in the same project, actually, the other change what that affect us was when CMHC changed the rules,
Yeah,
because originally we were planning to go on a bridge loan for a year, and then they changed it to 2 years. So those are the things, those are the challenges that sometimes you don't really have two options. As about say, review your numbers, make sure that you are still keeping track of your finances, the project, and the timeline, right?
the
Sometimes the
time.
timeline change, and sometimes you can't do anything about it.
yeah.
It's That's why we're saying that it's important that you know the risk that you are taking, that you're comfortable with that risk, because things change last minute, and we know that. And be open for that. Be receptible that's gonna happen. Okay, like what are my options now? And take those decisions quickly so you keep moving.
And
Things
communicate real time.
things yeah and things out of our controls, you know, CMHE, who knows, sometimes they wake up one morning and and there's the news. You gotta adapt yourself. There's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, absolutely, you have to be ready to pivot. um I'd like to ask you my fourth question, and this we kind of touched a little bit before on it. You're both big on education and mentorship. You talked about, you know, learning before going into multifamily. How has mentorship played a role in your growth? And what advice do you have for finding the right mentor in real estate?
It has made a huge impact to have a mentor. We can say that we already increased our business 10 times because of the knowledge and experience from our mentors. It's the guidance and the support and the guidance and sharing the experience that with someone that has already done it, it has
Yeah.
made huge impact in our process.
Yeah, the other thing that we can say from that one is when you get into programs, you have the community, right? And you don't have to make the same mistake that someone else already did.
Right.
That's why the community, because you can ask questions and people will try to guide you to the best that they can, and you have the different options to get feedback from different people, and then you can make a more educated decision. And the values, obviously, if it's something or the values and the if they align with what you want to do,
Yeah.
right? So if find someone that is doing what you want to do, so you can learn from them, because you know when oh, I want to do this, but my coach is doing or my mentor is doing something else, because it's not gonna align.
No, absolutely. The values have to align. And the mentorship usually comes with, like you said, a community, which this is key to growth because your network is your net worth, right? You need to talk to people. The real estate game is a relationship game. So absolutely getting mentorship, I believe as well that it is key if you want to grow into real estate.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you cannot do it alone, but again, for us, we come back to the same example, right? At the beginning, we're like, no, we can do it ourselves, and then quickly we realize that why we have to wait, and what it's gonna take us 3, 4, 5 years. Maybe we can do it in 1, 2 years, and it is
Yeah.
actually more fun when you work with someone else,
Yeah.
because you have that
And
sharing.
sharing accountability, it's a very, very like you enjoy the journey sharing with someone and giving a brainstorming back and forth and analyzing different perspectives gives you like the expansion. Yeah, it gives you expansion.
Yeah. So I think the key for people that is still on the fence, that what I want to do I try to identify the people that is doing what you want to do, talk to these people, and then find which one you can align, and that will be your good start. And ask questions. Ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, it's okay to interview your mentors before you choose them, right? This is it, it shouldn't be something that we have to be shy about. Ask questions because it's going to impact your journey if you align with the right mentor or the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I agree with you. That brings us to our last and fifth question, and I wanted to ask, what role does risk management play in your investment decisions? We talked a little bit about it before. And how do you assess risk in a volatile market?
Yeah, we have to analyze the numbers in the market, what's changing. We also what else we look at with the risk?
It's what we have been also talking already, right? You have to be monitoring what's going on around the
Yeah,
interest rates. If you are gonna be CMHC, for example, for us, that we knew when we started the project that we were gonna go CMHC, MLI Select, you have to be monitoring the changes and what's happening outside, right? The the economics of the country. There's people that invest international. You have to be monitoring that, so you know what is the risk, and if you have to take a different approach.
Yeah, and for example, if you are going to start doing property management and you have to see the profile of the tenants and see what type of tenants are you getting in, because that can reduce the risk.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, I
It
agree.
it all goes back, sorry, to what risk you feel comfortable, right? We know that, for example, in for tenants, as you were saying, there is different tenants profile. There's people that feels okay with a B, C tenant. There's other people that don't feel okay. So you will go and look for, so
B plus or yeah.
all those things you have to assess at the beginning, so you can take the right decision based on what is suitable for you.
Yeah.
There is not wrong or right, or it's what you feel comfortable working at, what is your risk tolerance, in terms of tenants. Location is another one, right? There is people that is okay, like I don't care, I don't mind. I'm okay dealing with that as people like I prefer an A++ neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And that is okay.
It depends on your risk tolerance, yeah. And also for us is the partnerships is leveraging the partnerships to accommodate the risk, because as you have more experts, then you're reducing the risk as you get more let's say more people working on the deal. Yeah.
The other key important thing in that one is your team, right? You want to
Yeah.
work with a lawyer that is real estate focused, an accountant that is real estate focused. And if you ended up in a situation with a problem that no one from your partners know, ask the question. Don't try to see like, oh, we're gonna solve it. Is ask the question. That's what we're surrounded of a community, right? To reduce the risk, to eliminate the risk, but you need to ask.
I like the fact that you in your risk management you don't consider only numbers, but you consider, like you said, tenant profiles, neighborhoods of properties, because this is all part of risk management. A lot of people say, okay, well, my spreadsheet gives me the green light, but is it only a spreadsheet you should be looking at, or everything else to be successful in real estate? So I really enjoyed your explanation and your answer here.
Yeah, numbers is so easy or hard, right? So we always try to run the numbers conservative, but that is more like a black and white, right? So
Yeah,
it's like it is or doesn't work.
Yeah,
So
that's when it has to become creative, because
yeah.
sometimes we get it so much into the numbers that we have to see other ways. It's not sometimes black and white, but we are like that.
Well, we didn't touch up much on that because that's kind of for her, right? Like
Yeah,
that's for us. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, it makes sense or doesn't make sense.
that's true. The numbers
But
is like,
I was thinking about, if you have let's say, for example, numbers is what you like to look at, but you establish a system where, okay, the numbers work, but then what's the next thing on our list that we have to look at before we make the decision? So you go down the list. If you build a system where you look at your tenant profile, is it in a good area or in the area that I feel comfortable, with risk management. So putting a system together is definitely something that you should do.
yeah, remember we walked a property one time. It's one of those properties that you run the numbers and yeah, it works. And then you walk the property and you see the tenants and it's like, okay, it may work, but it's not the strategy but because some of those is like you can turn them as the tenants leave. And maybe there is people like, I'm okay if the tenant leave in 10 years. I will turn over that unit in 10 years. But that's not what we're looking for, right?
Right.
So that's the reason you're like, okay, it's high risk for me. We're not gonna go that way because it doesn't align with what we are looking for,
yeah,
right? So it's a lot of that and things that you have to consider that we didn't know at the beginning, like the cash reserve,
the cash reserve, the capex.
capex, maintenance and repairs, things like that. That even we still own a single family home, we didn't know. Now we consider that, so we eliminate
Yeah.
the risk even in our single family home. But
Well, Valentina and Layda, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, to share your knowledge, and hopefully that our viewers can take a piece of that knowledge into their journey into real estate.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having this space for us to share our experience.
It's my pleasure. We'll
yeah,
talk to you very soon again, I'm sure.
Thank you,
thank
Mario.
you,
Yeah, for
Mario.
sure.
And see you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the 5 Questions podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell on our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. Stay tuned for more insights and tips to transform your real estate and business game. See you next time.